The camera opens inside a gleaming glass skyscraper, employees rushing, phones ringing, high heels tapping on marble floors. A gray-haired janitor quietly wipes a coffee spill near the reception desk. No one greets him. A few step around him like he doesn't exist, but what happens later that night, when this same janitor steps onto a brightly lit stage and silences the entire company, will make even the cold-hearted CEO question everything he thought he knew about success, because sometimes, the people we overlook are the ones who carry the most beautiful stories. Thomas Reed, 61, worked as a janitor at Harrison & Cole Industries, one of the biggest tech firms in downtown Chicago. Every morning, before the sun rose, he polished the glass doors, emptied trash cans, and made sure the offices gleamed before the young executives poured in. He'd worked there for over 10 years, yet few people ever said his name. Most just called him, "Hey, janitor." Thomas didn't complain. He smiled, nodded, and kept cleaning. But when everyone left, when the city lights dimmed and the world went quiet, he stayed behind for one reason: his old, beaten-up acoustic guitar locked away in a maintenance closet. Late at night, he'd sit in the empty cafeteria and play it. The songs weren't perfect, but they were honest, full of soul, love, and loss. Years ago, Thomas had been a musician. He and his wife, Ellen, performed in local bars and dreamed of recording their own album. But when Ellen fell seriously ill, Thomas sold everything: his instruments, his car, even their wedding rings, to pay her hospital bills. When she passed, he stopped playing, until one night, while cleaning the 20th floor, he saw a poster on the CEO's office door: "Annual Company Talent Night, show the heart behind the work." Thomas froze. It had been decades since he'd touched a stage. But something in him stirred, maybe Ellen's voice, maybe the loneliness of being unseen for too long. That night, he pulled his guitar from the closet, cleaned off the dust, and began to practice again, quietly, softly, between his night shifts. Meanwhile, Ethan Cole, the young CEO, was known for his sharp suits and sharper tongue. To him, work was about numbers and power. He scoffed when his HR director suggested the talent night idea. "People don't need to show heart, they need to meet deadlines," Ethan said flatly, but his HR team insisted, "Sir, maybe it's time we see the people behind the job titles." Ethan reluctantly agreed. He didn't know that this little event was about to change him forever. When the event list went out, laughter filled the offices. People couldn't believe it when they saw Thomas's name on the roster. The janitor's performing? What's he going to do, juggle mops? Thomas overheard the whispers, smiled politely, and kept walking. But that night, when he strummed the first chord in his small apartment, he whispered to himself, "This one's for you, Ellen." The company auditorium was packed. Fairy lights twinkled across the stage. Employees cheered, clapped, recorded videos. Ethan sat in the front row, scrolling through his phone, barely paying attention. A dance team performed. Then a comedy act. Then a poetry reading. The crowd laughed, applauded, until the MC called next up. Thomas Reed, from facilities. The room fell quiet. Thomas walked up slowly, uniform freshly pressed, shoes shined, his old guitar in hand. Some people chuckled. Others looked curious. He sat down, adjusted the mic, and said softly, "I've spent most of my life cleaning floors. But tonight, I'd like to share something I used to do before life got busy, something that helped me survive the hardest days." Then, he began to play. The melody filled the room, gentle, aching, real. His voice cracked at times, but it carried emotion so deep that even the ones who mocked him couldn't look away. His song told the story of love, loss, and the quiet dignity of working people, those who were seen but never truly noticed. The final lyric echoed through the hall: "You see my broom and my rags, but not the dreams I still carry." When the song ended, the hall was silent. Then, slowly, applause began, soft at first, then thunderous. People stood. Some wiped tears. Even Ethan Cole stood, unable to hide the emotion on his face. For the first time, he saw the man, not the uniform. After the show, Ethan walked backstage. "Thomas," he said, I don't know what to say. That was extraordinary." Thomas smiled faintly. "Thank you, sir. I just wanted to remind people that everyone has a story worth hearing." Ethan nodded slowly. "You did more than that. You reminded me what leadership really means." From that day forward, things changed at Harrison & Cole. The company launched a Hidden Voices program, giving all staff, from janitors to interns, a platform to share their stories and ideas. Thomas was no longer invisible. He wasn't just the janitor, he became the heart of the company's new culture. Months later, the CEO personally invited Thomas to record his song in the company's new creative studio. The video went viral, millions watched, cried, and shared, and in every interview, Ethan repeated one line: "Never judge someone by their job title, you never know the music they hold inside."